Hi everyone. It's been a long time since I've actually done a video on here, so I thought I've got a bit of an opportunity. So, baby's in bed. Baby's a lot bigger than the last video I did, which was 5 months ago, apparently. So I'm told. But here I am. So I know there are a few people kind of following my journey. Lots happened in the last 5 months. I think the last one I did actually was probably my head shave just before I started chemotherapy, which was quite a while ago. Some of it's grown back, and I went a bit wild and did it pink. So basically, I did chemo. That was all grand. I did chemo. I did a PET scan, and they said the chemo was going really well. So they said, okay, fine, we'll just do two more cycles of chemo, and then we'll do another scan. So they did the 2 cycles of chemo. Did another scan, and it didn't quite all go as planned. This was in January sort of time. They found a little bit in the base of my spine, kind of my sacrum, they call it, kind of your back of your pelvis. So they said, okay, fine, we'll do some radiotherapy. So I got set up for radiotherapy, and that was going to be targeted to that sort of area. I had 2 sessions of that, but they did another scan just to make sure just before they started the radiotherapy, and found that it had spread to 2 more places. So it was in my abdominal wall, somewhere kind of around my stomach sort of area, and then in my chest, just in front of my heart. So they said, okay, right, so we can't do the radiotherapy anymore, because that was kind of pointless targeting it in one place where it's actually in 2 or 3 places. So what they're going to do next is stem cell treatment. And what they've done in advance of that, you might be able to tell since my last video that my voice is a bit funny. A couple of days ago, I had a biopsy to my chest. They just want to make sure that it is still Hodgkin's lymphoma and not another kind of lymphoma. It won't affect the stem cell treatment. They're still going to do that, but it's they did for future reference. I think they thought it would be useful thing to know. So this is where they went in, hence the voice. I went in there and took a camera and a needle all the way down to my chest, and took several samples. So my voice has been affected. So it's just as well I don't sing for a living anymore. They thought I was joking when I said that, but no, that was my job. Yeah, so for the other thing that's quite difficult is words that start with vowels. They sometimes take a little bit of time for me to form. So that's fun, and swallowing and coughing and all kind of things that require you to be able to close your throat. Just don't really work very well at the moment. So I'm hoping that better with a bit of time. So tomorrow, Monday, I've got my next lot of what they call salvage chemo. So I've got another 3 cycles of chemotherapy. Yeah, each cycle is 3 weeks. There's the valve problem. So each cycle is 3 weeks, and I've only got treatment on days 1 and 8. So that's not too bad. That's fine. And then I've got to go into hospital in Newcastle at the end of that. So that's in about 9 weeks' time. After they've hooked me up to some sort of machine, they'll take all my blood out of one arm, run it through a filter, take out my own stem cells, and then put my blood back into my other arm. Then I'm in hospital for 5 days having chemotherapy. The strength of it will be enough to kind of kill my bone marrow completely. But also the cancer. That's the plan. And then they reintroduce your stem cells after those 5 days to kind of reboot your own bone marrow. So that's how that works. But then, because they've killed off your immune system and stuff like that, they have to keep you in hospital for a bit longer than that. So it's going to be a kind of 2 or 3 week period, give or take, depending on whether I get any infections or other bits and pieces. But then that'll be I'll be transferred back to the James Cook for that. So it's the treatment in Newcastle, and then I'll get to be in my normal hospital where I'm familiar with everyone there. Anastasia won't be able to visit. That's being tough to swallow. she'll be, well, babies are disease ridden. They catch things from other babies and children. You never know what they're putting in their mouths, so that it's easy for them to spread things. And I'm going to have to be in, kind of a clean room basically. I'm hoping with COVID and stuff that Luke will still be able to visit at least. But I'll kind of find out nearer the time, I think. But yeah, that's that. I've been told then after that there's about 3 months or so of being more fatigued than I've ever been in my life. And then because of the process of wiping out my immune system, I also, after the first 12 months after the treatment, I have to have all of my childhood immunizations again. So, kind of polio and diphtheria and typhoid and MMR, all of that. So many injections that I shouldn't really have had to have again, because I'll have the immune system of a newborn. So that's where I am. So the hair went pink because I thought, you know what, if it's going to fall out again, sod it. So I dyed it pink, which I have to cover up when I'm having client meetings. I can't really try and be a professional will writer. Turn up to a serious client Zoom meeting with bright pink hair. So there we are. So I've got plenty of hats. If it doesn't fall out immediately, I've got plans to do it blue before I go into hospital again. Because why not? So yeah, that's where I am really. Things that have been troubling. Why hasn't it gone yet? That's been on my mind a lot, I suppose. There've been one or two kind of wobbly moments and mini meltdowns and all of that because it was all looking really good and then it wasn't. And now here I am, but I'm still here. So bonus. Just trying to stay positive, but finding it really annoying when people tell me to stay positive. Don't know why. It just is. I suppose it just feels a bit cliched sometimes when you've got people saying, "Oh, stay strong and you've got this and keep positive and keep fighting." I mean, what's the alternative to keep fighting? The alternative is give up and die. So obviously, I'm going to keep fighting. So yeah, it's just a little bit frustrating. But there we are. So I'll probably be doing some more of these when I'm certainly when I'm in hospital, because I'll be in my own room and I'll have nothing else to do. So I'll be harassing all people who are silly enough to subscribe to my updates. So I'm going to go because my voice is dying a death. And actually, speaking of client meetings, I've actually got one at 6 o'clock. I'm not sure how wise that was to book it in, but I'm doing it because I'm going to keep trying to work. If there are some people, some friends wanted me to reshare my crowdfunding thing that we had going. I'll pop a link on there just in case. There have been some really, really kind people wanting to help because the support we've got from the charities has been amazing. It's going to run out at some point, and my statutory sick pay is going to run out. So that is without hope or expectation. But people have been asking me for the link, so I'll pop it on the comments here. But yeah, that's a monthly update. Sorry it's been so long for anybody who's actually that interested. And for anyone who's in a similar situation, message me if you want to have a rant about generally how shit it is to have cancer. Cheers, guys. Bye.